Welcome to the Healing Tarot. I'm Suzanne, and this week we have another foundational topic when it comes to healing through tarot. So we're going to be looking at another way to approach healing through tarot, through some foundational ideas about how to strengthen your practice and how to move through your healing journey. So one of the common ideas in tarot is that we need to learn the meaning of the cards. We need to memorize all 78 cards, have a really strong idea about what each of the cards means. But this is just simply not true. You can read without knowing any of the card meanings, and I would really encourage you to try and engage with that practice more intuitively. The reason that we don't really need to memorize the cards is that it can actually create this sort of rigid idea around what the cards mean. And if you spend any time sort of Googling on the internet, you'll find a lot of the card meanings are very similar to each other. They'll tend to come from a tarot book where somebody has scripted what the cards mean. And we can get really stuck in that. We can get stuck in the idea that, the tower means destruction and devastation and your life falling apart. But it could have subtle nuances for you in your healing reading. So if we can move past that idea, and if you already know the meanings of the cards, it could be maybe a little bit difficult to undo some of the knowledge that you've acquired through memorization. But if you're approaching this when you've had, no experience with tarot, actually, you're probably in a really good place to approach it like this. So a few ways that you can do this is that if you pull a card, just look at the card. Look at the imagery on the card. So what is the character doing in the card? Most of the tarot cards have some kind of human figure in them, or a human element. So what are they doing? What are their gestures like? What is their facial expression like? A really good technique that I came across many years ago was imagine yourself stepping into the card and interacting with the character. What would the energy of that be like? In the majority of decks, unless you've got kind of standardized pip cards, there are colours, there is symbolism. So what do you see? Is it dark? Is it is there a heavy energy to it? Is it light? Is it bright? Do the characters look like they're having fun, or do they look like they're happy? And if you've got more than one card, you can see how they're interacting with each other. So do you have a character facing another character? How would the cards be interacting with each other if they were people? Would it look confrontational? Would it look calming? Would it look like they had a good relationship? So really, it's just about pulling a card. What do you see? Just ask yourself what you see. How would you react to it if you weren't trying to read it as tarot? How would you react to it if you were just to open a magazine and see somebody doing that? So thinking about it like that, thinking about your own emotional reaction to the card. So how does it make you feel? And maybe starting to unpick that a little bit. Why does it make you feel like that? Each of the cards has a numerical value. So, we know that 3 is generally about things coming together, collaboration. We generally know that 5s are challenges. We generally know 6 is about a kind of the seesaw, the rebalancing after the challenge. So you could spend some time kind of learning the symbolism of the numeric value. You can also learn a little bit about what each of the suits mean. So cups is emotions, and the relational aspects of life, the softer intangibles. So you could learn that. You could learn the numbers and the meaning of the suit and not have to learn what the actually card means. And then if you're applying it to your question, instead of asking, what does this card mean? And then maybe, you know, spending a bit of time Googling it and possibly even confusing yourself more, just ask yourself, what is this card really trying to tell me by how it makes me feel, what the colour in the card is, what the human aspect of the card is doing, and what does it mean in my particular context. Because if we're bringing it back to healing, really we don't want to be having these rigid card meanings. It is our interpretation, our reaction, and our you know, subjective experience of the card. So I did a reading recently where it gave me the reversed Ace of Pentacles, and if I was to, you know, spend some time Googling that, it would be basically telling me, you know, you've got some kind of financial emergency coming or something like that. But using my intuition and looking at the spread and kind of knowing what the rest of the cards were telling me, it meant something very different to me. It was a health related pointer. So try not to get caught up in the cycle of I'm not sure what this card means, I'm going to Google it, because you will lose the insights, you will lose the potential of applying it to you, learning about it in relation to you. So just to close here, trust yourself, trust your reaction to the card. Don't feel like that somebody else who has written a blog post about it or written a book knows more about that card, because they don't know what that card means for you. So they're giving generic meanings, they're not giving specific meanings for you. So trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust your reaction to the card. So I'll leave it there. But if this has resonated and been helpful, please do like, share and subscribe, and do drop back next week where we'll be sharing more foundational discussions of tarot for healing.